Oh, yeah. Welcome to your Friday, the kickoff to your weekend. It is the Southern Patriots podcast with your host, the Cornbread Man, February the 13th, 6:03 Eastern Standard Time. Wherever you're at, good morning or good evening. Somewhere in the world, people are talking to us. It is very late or very early or all kind of time zones. They're trying to figure out the difference where we're at. We have quite a few folks from the United Kingdom who come by from time to time, and it's quite a bit of difference in time. So you get. I've never traveled a little bit, so I never have experienced a lot of jet lag. But I have had those moments when it's kind of it would be a weird feeling to get on a plane at one time and then deboard earlier than when you left. That's crazy. Bring back the Concorde, right? Wow, what a plane! There's supposed to be plans for supersonic planes in the future, and space planes and all that. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but who knows? Never flew in the Concorde, never had that kind of money. I don't know that I'd want to, but they able to get from Europe to America, America to Europe in a shorter time. They're all in. I mean, nowadays I don't really understand that anymore. Companies with today's technology really some things you need to be in person for. I get it, but most of the time you can handle about everything you need to over the internet through a Zoom meeting or some sort of telecommunications meeting. You can have multiple. You can have a platform that has thousands watching. 200 or more on stage if you want it, and you can get all the information you need and talk through stuff. And so sometimes I wonder how much these people really need to be flying around the country. I get it. Sometimes you have to be in place to inspect maybe the ones who are the inspectors there. But I think you could also do some of that in the country. I don't think you. I think it's very much rare that you really have to have anybody fly over. Now, sometimes that's somebody's job. I get it, but again, as much as you're flying somebody around the world, you could have a second person that would handle one part of the world, one person have another. I don't know. Not trying to cheat the capitalist system, but I'm just saying, today's bottom line. I mean, it's harder to make a profit. Everything is so expensive, and I would just wonder why you would continue to do that. I mean, you don't need it nowadays. There was a time when that was somebody was on hopping planes every week for some destination to check on business. But nowadays, business can be handled. I could handle from this studio. If I owned a massive company, I could handle everything there. You just put good people in place and trust them to do their work, verify through other means. You always audit yourself, and then you have others that come in and audit you. But you don't have to always be flying around the world. So I think some of that has been cut out. A lot of companies have, they've changed the way they do business. There's still a lot of that. Don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of it. I question sometimes, R&D people, they go overseas to look at equipment, because they're wanting to buy it. And honestly, I question the value of any of those trips, except for the networking. But you're doing the buying. I mean, the networking isn't that you're doing the buying, and you can handle a lot of those specifications again over the internet, video, sending documents back and forth, and listening to people that have went on these trips. I mean, a huge portion of it was simply it was a vacation. It was a fun time to go do stuff, and you accomplished a little bit of business while you were there. And then when they got the equipment in, a lot of the things that they went over there and inspect and make sure was right was wrong anyway. So I just wonder sometimes how important that is. Where there's still a great need for that sometimes, maybe because some people have proprietary, they have the knowledge on something that you've made and that you can't alter it, and you have to fly their expert in to do adjustments and stuff. They've got a lock on it. So, if you can develop yourself, then you can avoid all that and make all the money you want, or save all that money as you're trying to make money. I mean. Let's do our Bible verse this morning from Proverbs chapter 4, verse number 23. Nice little scene of the trees there. Keep thy heart with all diligence. Very important to guard your heart, for out of it are the issues of life. The heart is an amazing thing. You know, not to beat the horse into the ground, but I always question what I would hear people say. Just trust your heart. Better be careful with the heart. Heart will take you places. How many people have had their lives fall apart because they trusted their heart? Trust the Lord. But the heart is an amazing thing. Sometimes descriptions are they have a big heart. They're tender hearted. they, they have an evil heart. I mean, there's all kinds of definitions that could be said about such things. So let's next National Day. Not a heavy day, National Day. A little bit of stuff. I do like one of them. One of them is the rest of them are like, for me. But I do like this one. No one eats alone day. There is something psychological about that. I mean, there are people who would prefer to eat alone. I do find value in it. Like there was times I used to, before the days that I would take, the electronics, I would go buy a paper or I'd take a sports page or whatever it was I wanted to read or a magazine, and I would go have a lunch where I would just read and eat a bite, and I do find value in those times, but that's not all the time. One time I was doing that, and busloads of kids came in the little pizza place I was at. I was like, I'm glad I'm about done because the lady said it was super quiet in there. They're like, "Sir, we just want to know if you want to get any more pizza." And I said, "Well, I think I'm done." She said, "Well, if I just want to let you know because we have like 5 busloads of kids coming out and look up out the parking lot." I went, "Whoa!" She said, "Yes, your silence is fixing to end." I was like, "Let me prepare to leave." Nothing against the kids, but I was like, as I walked out, the first load was already in the door, and yes, the temperature changed in the room. We'll say the DB level, and I moved on. So, but there is this great value of we have this social interaction that we enjoy with each other. It's like people that meet each other for the famous phrase, let's meet for drinks or whatever. That could be Coca-Cola or whatever. I'm not saying alcohol, but there's this social interaction that we enjoy when we sit down with friends and enjoy the fellowship over coffee or whatever it is. That's just something, and I'm not saying a huge group. It's just two people, close friend, whatever. You go and you meet somewhere, and maybe you're even talking over some plans about something or some business, but along the way you're doing the social, just talking about life and how's your family and or memories you have and sports, and there's great value in that. So it is sad if somebody never has anybody to go eat with them, and they would want that. That would be sad. And I have many times ran into people that I knew when I went out on a. I was by myself. This was back years ago. My wife was working. It'd be like the kids are at school, and I'm off that day. And I usually would just come home and eat at home, or if I went somewhere to eat, I'd bring it home and watch TV or something if I was just vegging out that day or whatever. But at times I did run into people I knew, and he'd be like, "Hey, man, I hadn't seen you in a long time," and you end up, impromptu. You didn't plan on it. You end up having a friend for lunch or whatever it is, and it turns into this great thing. So I get that. There is value in the loan if you just wanted to, kind of deprogram. I understand that fully, and just rest your mouth. I mean, if you have a job where you have to talk a lot, I could see that being even more important. I have people I know, and they, I mean, really could just eat at work every day. It's not about the eating out. It's not about the food even. It's like they don't like where they go, but they were telling me here a while back. They said I just there's groups of people from work that go eat together. But there's some people, and they've told me, they said, I tend to get out a couple days a week. I will leave work and I will go somewhere and I will sit by myself. And I just want that alone time to kind of take a mental break from all the things that they're doing in their job. Because if you try to eat at work, if they see you there, they're always going to keep coming in. And, that can be, you want to help, but at the same time, it's your lunchtime. And so the easiest thing is to remove yourself for a short time and just go have that time and take a break. And I had not been doing that. I just been coming in. I would eat, or if I ran, I went and got something, came right back, and I was working at my desk. And one day I said, "Yeah, I'm going to do that." It's not been that long ago. I said, I'm gonna do that. I just never do that. And I just sat in my car. Like I didn't even want to go in the restaurant. I just sat in my car and ate. It was a beautiful day, and I thought, this is nice. Okay, like I could get into this, and so I do that. Like nowadays, I kind of leave and check on my wife, but but still get out and plant and drive a little bit and kind of. The only reason I find problem with that is this, and I'll move on. Hey, good morning, Jerry. Uh, I like this. It's Friday. I woke up this morning with my mind on Jesus. Absolutely, praise the Lord. Um, but what was I going to say? Oh, when I leave work, if it's a beautiful day, warm, just perfect weather, it's very hard to go back into work. It's like you have to almost lie to yourself, like, okay, it's almost over. It's just gonna be a few minutes, because once I'm on the road and it's beautiful, that's the reason I wouldn't ever leave is because I didn't even look outside. It's like, I mean, even a rainy day going down the road, you just enjoy being off work. You enjoy your work, but just when you get out and you're kind of rolling, it's kind of hard to roll back in. For me, it is. I mean, you're like, once I hit the road, I want to be gone. So I tend to, if I'm going to eat, I'll eat in the parking lot at work in my car, and just listen to the radio or something, listen to some news or read some news or whatever. Because once you leave, it's kind of hard. You got your mind on, especially on a Friday. My gosh, I would never want to do that on a Friday. There's no way I would do that. Like go have the lunch thing and then like, man, it's already like 1 o'clock. Man, I'm going back into the plant. Yeah, I got 4 hours I can work here, but it's tough. It's tough. Friday's a getaway early day if you can for a lot of people. So I kind of get that. So different things for different folks. So there was your Bible verse this morning, and the national day, as I said, was no one eats alone day. Um, let's see, National Cheddar Day. Not really big into cheeses and stuff. It's okay, but I could. That one doesn't affect me at all. I'm not saying it doesn't for some people. I'm just not a cheesehead. You Packer fans. It's also National Tortellini Day. Again, for me. And what is this one? We got one more. It is it's for women anyway. They get together each year before Valentine's Day, and they honor our platonic soulmates and the bond between relationships formed that deserve celebration. Galentine's Day. So I'm not a gal. Though the government can't figure out gender, I can. If that makes somebody mad this morning, get over it. It'll be okay. Keeping it light here on a Friday. But out of all those, because one doesn't affect me anyway. Um, I think I would just stick with no one eats alone day. Like if I was driving, and if I was out and I seen Jerry out and he's at the Swallow in the Hollow and he's eating some pork and French fries and whatever down there at the picnic table at the barbecue place. I'm going to stop in and say, "Hey, man, how's it going? Are you eating alone?" He'd probably be like, "Yeah, leave me alone." Oh, it's funny in my family anyway. My wife with my son, they're like they eat all over town. They back in the a little bit still, but changes in her life not as much. They used to hit every place in town, and I'd find out later. Like I'd see a bag, or I'd say, "Oh, y'all went to this today, whatever," and I'd be like, "Oh, okay," and I'd give my hard time. So I'm like, "Oh, well, thanks about thinking about me." But my wife, if I went and did that, she'd go, "Why didn't you wait on me?" I mean, it's like I could never go on my own. Be like, "Well, it was a work thing, honey. We went to I don't know Jay Alexander's or something, whatever it was." She's like, why did I could never do that. I didn't get the pass. Like it was always so. It was better just to leave that alone. And if I ever planted that seed, like you think you might like to go such place with my wife, she's like that little girl still. It's like you gotta follow through. Don't mention it unless you really mean it. Like I mean that means if the Russians invaded today, you can see the parachutes opening up. And we're under full scale attack. My wife would be like, "Yeah, that's interesting. Are you still taking me to whatever to eat?" I mean, that would be that way that would go. I'm like, "Sure, we'll dodge the ground troops that are soon to appear, and we'll try to get that last lunch in before we're we're either in a gulag or we're dead. Okay, pulling our weapons out and fighting. Let me kill this battalion of Russians, and then we could go. We might have to cut the lunch short because we might have to go. They might need reinforcements over here on the ridge. Well, I'll be like, well, go fight. I got my meal now. You learn things. This year will be our 40th year of marriage. It's not here yet, so it's not officially 40, but it's the 40th year. You just learn these things as you live your life. You just learn how things go. That's just part of all that growing process, right? You learn what is appropriate and not, as far as know you got how to read the room, how to read your spouse, knowing what they like. Jerry, now I need to get my mind on rewiring my Massey Ferguson tractor. I'm trying to find a new switch, but nobody around here has one. I guess I'm going to have to. Jerry. Well, a country boy can survive. That we know this. We know that a country boy can survive. Birthdays today. Well, there's a handful in here I want to recognize today of people I know. You remember the late great? I didn't. Great is pushing it a little bit. Saturday will be your 45th. Wow! Congratulations! What a great honor. Wish your wife the very best from myself and my wife on 45 years of putting up with Jerry. She could probably write a book about 45 years with Jerry Barrett. I mean, Well, the first thing was chapter 1. Why did I marry this guy? I got to get him. I got to fix him up. I mean, I see some stuff here, but I didn't know he was going to act like that after we got married. I mean, like leaving his clothes laying around and all that. Oh, just kidding. Robbie Williams, singer, 51 years old today. But I was going to say the late great Jerry Springer, who has not been flipping the channels on the TV. And you saw an episode back in the day of the Jerry Springer Show. And come on, admit it. You saw two cousins trying to figure out who had custody of some kid or something. And some dude with no teeth jumps up in the audience and demands that they do a DNA, and then there's a brawl on the left-hand side of the stage, and Jerry Springer going, and we'll be right back. We're going to find out whose kid this is. And you stop for a minute and you thought, I can't believe I just wasted 2 minutes of my life on that as you change the channel. It was never a day in my life that I watched a Jerry Springer Show from front to end. But I will say there were times that I stopped and went, really? I mean, for a TV guy, I was thinking, just how redneck can you get? Oh man. Oh, some people, I guarantee you, some people were watching every episode of Jerry Springer going, yeah, that same thing happened to me. I'm still going through it. Or they were sitting there going, oh, I hope nobody finds out. Oh, you know what? You have accomplished something in life. There are those people, and you could even shorten that down to the Springer Show. You don't even have to say Jerry. There are certain things in life that will live. They're legendary stuff. Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter. Elvis, I mean, like you could just say Elvis. You could say the Beatles. You don't have to say all their names. The Beatles. There's just those things. Ali. Everybody knows what you're talking about. You have that is imprinted on the consciousness of a population of the world. Springer is one of those. For better, for worse, that dude created a whole subculture that everybody knew it instantly when somebody said, is this like a Jerry Springer show? Everybody sees it and envision it in their brain. They do not have to even stop for 1 second to go, who? Now, today's generation, yeah, but all of the people my age, certainly. Jerry Springer, a very philosophical man. And I guess you would go, what's the show? Because I don't watch it really. what's the psychologist show? I can't even remember that dude's name. He's another one I think that nowadays has become that guy, and I know it and I can't think of it. So I'm my brain. But yeah, I mean that's pretty powerful. Think about it. You have put in the mind of a population, millions of people, your name, and they're always going to remember that. I mean, he did accomplish that. I'm sure he made a pile of money over his life too. It would be nice to go back and do the follow up, like go back and find like the top 10 Springer moments, and go back if they're still living and find out where they're at today. That would be dang interesting. I would. Yes, Dr. Phil, thank you. Dr. Phil is another one. Yeah, millions of doctors out there. You say Dr. Phil, and somebody goes, "Oh, I like that show. I like me some Dr. Phil." I just get it, man. It's like you have made it. Like the rest of your life, you don't have to work hard. Everybody knows who you are, and you can write books, you can go on TV shows, you can have your own show, you can do a radio show, you can do whatever you want. You have arrived. You have you got your 15 minutes of fame and then some. And these guys like that they have. But rest in peace, Jerry Springer. He died in 23. He was born right in the middle of the Great War, 1944. Right, was it really intensifying to its biggest point. Who else? There was a couple of more I wanted to get to. Um, uh, James Olmos, was actor, still living, 78. Remember him in so many things. Football player Randy Moss. I always liked the way Randy acted, but what an amazing talent that Randy Moss. He's 48 today. Pardon me. Um, I've seen him. This guy's one of the greatest receivers, honestly, of all time. I mean, amazing talent. Just never. Sometimes didn't make the right decisions. But he definitely deserves his props on the football part. Stockard Channing is 81. It's hard to even believe that. Still with us at 81 years old. George Siegel, saw him in so many things. He left this life in 21. He was born in 34. Happy birthday in memory to him. And I think I had one more I wanted to get down here. Oh, Peter Gabriel, rock singer, obviously from group fame and also a solo artist for many, many years. 75 years old today. So shout out to these. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. It is your day. You've made it another year. God has blessed you with another day. Make it the best day yet, and live your life and fulfill your dreams and, be a blessing to other people. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Hopefully somebody will remember your birthday and call you up or message you or whatever and do that. There's a nice feature, and sometimes it maybe not get used like it should. But Facebook does a pretty good job of reminding you of people's birthdays. After all, there's a lot of people I try my best, and if I'm a little late, because sometimes I miss the notification, whatever, I like to go back and wish people a happy birthday or right on the day or whatever. And I tell you, I get a lot of comments back. People appreciate that. Even if it was just a couple of clicks. They said, you what, you took the time to wish me a happy birthday, and I really appreciate that. That's pretty cool. So everybody likes to be recognized when there's something going on in their life. Most people do. I mean, some people are just that. That's who they are. They don't want to be bothered with anything. And so our small city today, we're going out to the great state of Idaho. I have never been in Idaho, never driven through, never even close, to be honest. Never been in that part of the country, up in the great Northwest, in those areas up there. Never been there. But in Idaho, there is a small town. Let me get it pulled back up. It is Stanley, Idaho. And one of the reasons that I picked this town, there's a little picture here as I was looking through these towns, and it's a cute little town. But in the background of this town, and again, it looks rural, small town America. I love small town America, but in the background, let me see if I can. It's probably a better picture, but I do like this. But and they say that they have more scenic punch per capita than anywhere else, with fewer than 100 year-round residents. So if you're looking for a place to get away, let me just show you this real quick. Let me pull this down. And then we'll go back to share screen. You can just see it a little bit. I wish it was a little bit better picture. But if you look at the mountain range and back there, that's the Sawtooth Mountains. And it's go look that up. That's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And hey, there's not a lot of people there, Sawtooth Mountains. So shout out to all those in Stanley. Not many. That's one of the smallest ones we've done. Fewer than 100 year-round residents, so people come visit. Tourists driving through. Here's a better one. Here's the one I wanted right here. Hang on. This is the shot that I wanted. I didn't scroll down far enough. This is awesome. Check that out. That's beautiful. Give me a rocking chair right there on that little porch right there with a cup of coffee and the good book with those mountain range right there. Man, I am. Good morning, Daryl. You talking about a blessing from God. I could sit there and read scripture and pray and rock and drink my coffee and look off in the distance, those mountains. I'd feel like I was in heaven almost. I mean, that is a beautiful shot. So it may have fewer than 100 residents a year, but shout out to Stanley, Idaho. That is awesome right there. I love that. When I go out of town, that's like my favorite. When I'd go with the family and I'd go up to the mountains, we'd go to Pigeon or Gatlinburg or whatever we do. And I do the things of the family. But after a little bit, I'm like, after the, 20th store or whatever, I just take I sit out front. Because a lot of places got rocking chairs or benches or whatever. And I said, y'all have at it. I'm kind of shopped out. And I'd sit there and read my Bible and then I'd talk to people. You meet people from all over the country and the world. And you'll meet other Christians. And that's what I like to do. Take your time, shop all you want. I'm happy. I got a cup of coffee. I'm sitting here with the Bible. I'm meeting people, and it's a blessing. That's me. People want, and then when you get older, like I remember one year we were in the mountains. We was at this hotel. And they had we were sitting in the rocking chairs. It was a beautiful day, and everybody's talking about going and doing this, going and doing that. Me and my wife was like, "Yeah, y'all have at it. We're tired. We're gonna sit here in these rocking chairs." I think we fell asleep in the rocking chair. It was a great day. We woke up and went out to eat. It was a great day. That's Jerry on Saturday for his 45th anniversary. Jerry Barrett's going to be sitting on the porch with his dear beloved. They're going to be sitting in the rocking chairs, little swing or whatever, holding hands, and say happy anniversaries to each other. And they're going, and then about 2 hours later, they're going to wake up and say, "What happened?" They're going to say, "That was a good sleep. Let's eat." I could see that, Jerry. I know, knowing Jerry, he'll be cooking or something. They'll have a quick lunch or dinner or something, and you better get her some roses or something, dude. I mean, 45 years. She's had a rough year too. She's went through it as well. She kept us informed when you couldn't. She deserves an award for all the stuff and you know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But you need to do somewhere where she can go laugh and have a good time. Take her somewhere where she can just laugh and smell the roses and have a good time. And y'all look back over 45 years and go, wow, all them great grandkids you got. That's cool stuff. All right, so news headlines this morning, and then we'll just kind of talk about whatever you want to talk about. They've not released a whole lot of the plan for Gaza. There's a lot of points, and they've been trying to get to this point. But President Trump has got this peace board, and it's an interesting concept. Let's see. He says, "I wish our 10-year-old granddaughter is spending the night." Oh boy. Well, thank you. It's kind of become my thing to wear. It's comfortable. Keeps my head warm, covers up my bald forehead, and it's comfortable. So it's kind of become my hat for the show. That's the only place I did wear it in the house the other night. My granddaughter goes, "What are you doing wearing that hat?" She wanted to put it on her head, though. She's like, "I like that." So appreciate that, Daryl. But the Gaza rebuilding plan is going to be revealed next week. And, it's still in its formative stages. But this peace plan or this peace board, they got a lot of people from different countries on it. There's a lot of people, he said, has offered a lot of money. They're not saying numbers yet, a lot of money to help with the rebuild effort. And there's supposed to be all these different people that have a seat at the table. and they're going to get through the next part. This is where it's really going to be. This is the tedious part, because Hamas has to lay down the rest of the Hamas that's living. Most of them are dead. The ones that are living got to lay down their weapons and join forces or get the heck out. We give you free passage to leave, Mr. Terrorist, but you either lay down weapons and join the effort or out. So that's one of the big things there. They got to start putting back together Gaza. But there's a little talk out there, apparently, that there's a fear in around the world that President Trump is trying to start the new UN, the Peace Board. You know what? I wouldn't put it past him to do something like that. That he puts together these group of leaders, powerful, influential people, maybe not even leaders of their countries now, but used to be, and he starts moving, shifting a lot of, because I'll be honest, I don't care for the UN anyway. I mean, I think it'd be funny if he was doing that. But anyway, there's going to be a lot of attention put on that as they move forward. Another big thing that he did this week is in the news today. I've been hearing about it. Is this EPA rule change that they have done? So on yesterday, they announced the repeal of a scientific finding that greenhouse gas emissions endanger human health. This is a game changer. Removing the legal basis for federal climate regulations. Every environmentalist, leftist, their heads are going to explode, or are exploding right now. It also ended subsequent federal greenhouse gas emission standards for all vehicles. All. California, Gavin Newsom, his gelled hair is on fire right now. For all vehicles and engines of model years 2012 to 2027. The move represents the most sweeping climate change policy rollback by the administration to date, after a string of regulatory cuts and other moves intended to unfetter fossil fuel development and stymie the rollout of clean energy. Quote, under the process just completed by the EPA, we are officially terminating the so-called endangerment finding, a disastrous Obama-era policy that severely damaged the American auto industry and drove up prices for American consumers, Trump said, announcing the repeal beside EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin and White House Budget Director Russ Vought, who has long sought to revoke the finding. That's huge. Trump said he believes man-made climate change is a hoax and has withdrawn the United States from the Paris Agreement, as well as ending Biden administration-era tax credits aimed at accelerating deployment of electric cars and renewable energy. Wow. I mean, that's huge right there. I mean, massive right there. Jerry says, we probably will sit in our rockers and think about our honeymoon and sing Precious. Oh, you're right, Daryl. I mean, man, we are just entering into, wow, things are happening at lightning speed too. Like that's like big. So the article goes on, but that gets the gist of the story. That is major. I was hearing about it yesterday as I was running around, but I was very busy. I didn't have time. It was after the show and I heard that they did that. But that is big, big. So you got three. There's a lot of big news stories, but these are three of the biggest. I think is the Peace Board, this EPA rule, and there's one more. If I can get my page to act right, there is one more I wanted to get to, and it's from Representative Mace. Quote: not that we are surprised, but quote: you would be shocked by redacted names in the Epstein files. You would be shocked. So she's seen them. She knows what they are. I have said this from the beginning. To cleanse the nation, every name has to be shown and let the chips fall where they may. And it should happen around the world. But I'm saying for America, this sin and these people that are involved, to whatever level they are, if they're in there, it doesn't mean that they were doing to the worst of it, but they have a connection. It needs to be known. And you listen, it's a horrible story. We got to cleanse it. It's a stain on the nation. It's horrible. It's human trafficking and child abuse, and it's the worst of the worst. It's sickening. I don't want to see. I don't need to see. My mind. I know enough to know what. Some people got to watch all that stuff. I don't want that planted in my brain. I know what it is. Let's just prosecute them and put them in jail. Send them to the island. And you're right, Daryl. It'll never happen. But and that's what kills me about this administration. That's what kills me. It's the same thing. Mace is doing the same thing. Bondi's done. Bongino done. and Cash Patel's done. They throw you a bunch of big news out there, and it becomes a nothing burger. Nothing happens with it. It is big news to say that. It's not like we're shocked. We know this went on, but you're right, and that's the sad part about it. And the sin will continue to go on, and these people will get away with murder, up to murder. I mean, I'm sure if we get able to dig, I mean, a lot of people are already saying that, but but certainly the abuse, the trafficking, of women and children, and it's sickening. And there should be a reckoning, and there will be. There will be. They'll stand before the great King one day. But in this life, we'll never see. We'll never see all the names. I just don't think that'll ever happen because it's so massive. It's going to tear down everything, and they're just not going to do it. They're not going to cut their own throat, so to speak, as the old saying goes. But you're right. But those are three big news items today, headlines from Newsmax, and wow. And we didn't even mention about where we're at with are we fixing to bomb Iran or whatever. All right, let me get over here and catch some other folks. I've been had the screen covered up with my news. Um, I have been through Clayton, Georgia, Watchman. I have been there a couple of times actually. Just had a friend that has a museum there. Barry said um, it's a Civil War museum. He sells products there on eBay. I don't know that I went to that, but I have been in Clayton, Georgia. Trump is replacing you, and that's what everybody's talking about, Barry. That he's going to do that. Gaza, Alago, on the yeah. I mean, whatever you want to say, but it is news, and that's from that point. Almost married a gal from up there, lived there for a while. I'm talking about Clayton, not Gaza. Woke up every morning, sing that cross on the top. Black Rock Mountain. I hadn't heard that one. I've heard of Black Mountain, but North Carolina, I didn't know about Black Rock Mountain. Where is so that's outside of Clayton. I've never been to that one. I just drove through Clayton. I don't remember ever spending a lot of time there. I'll have to look that up. So I don't know. Um, Amen, brother. Amen. You know, I mean, the damage. Think of the generational damage that's been done. I mean, just imagine. I mean, it's hard to even imagine the scale of it. Even the scale of it. And listen. This doesn't even talk. This doesn't even cover the rich and elite who go take their floating palaces around the world and they do the 24-hour marriage to underage girls, the 24-hour marriage, and then do the divorce. I mean, this is the world of the sicko rich out there, and it goes on every day. They're just to see they're happy that Epstein screen is going on because it's covering what they're doing. But and it's more than that. I mean, we know it. That's just the beginning of it. It's the whole demonic underworld that has been going on, and really right in front of people's faces and or right under their feet, so to speak. And it's it's just horrible. I mean, it is horrible. I hate to even have to talk about it. It's not. I mean, I know. I honestly, I know it's there. I don't cover it 24/7. I do go into other things. I don't want to have to do that every day. I pray about it. I pick and choose where I want to engage that. It's just I don't want my head in that. I'm not avoiding it. I'm praying about it. I don't want to talk about it every day. It's so sick, and because as much as I talk about it, I can't change it. I can change it through prayer. I can't change. I can't make the change. I can't change the world that way. So I wish I had the power to do that. Put all these people in the penalty box of life of whatever that needs to be, whether it was jail or whatever else. I'm being careful of my words here. You understand, but. Watchman says that Clayton is the home of the world-renowned Dillard House. They have breakfast. They bring everything to your table like Thanksgiving. They cure their own ham and bacon. Now, you just sold me on this place. Jerry, you ever been to Dillard House, Dillard House in Clayton, Georgia? I've never been there, but it sounds like a place I want to go. By the way, Daryl, how you doing? I know you're recovering from surgery I think you had. How's things going for you, man? I've noticed you're a little more active out there. I hope things are progressing well for you. And Jerry, when's the next cooking event? Cooking with Jerry. When are we going to see more meats cooked up and that Brunswick stew for sale and all that stuff that you're doing there. I want to see the 25-gallon vat. You're going to have a bigger spoon. You're going to have the bigger. It's not a spoon. What do you call that thing? Well, no. What do you call that thing you're stirring all that meat with out there, Jerry? What is that thing called? It looked like a mini shovel. The 14-gallon vat he's cooking all that stuff in. Watchman says they have the best bacon he ever ate in his life. Now that's a statement from Watchman. He don't just throw around words like that without meaning them. And man, you make me want to go to Clayton now. An oar? Do you call your stirring utensil oar, Jerry? Oh man, I don't know if y'all haven't seen the video. Go on Facebook to Cooking with Jerry, Pastor Jerry, Cooking with Pastor Jerry. Get it right, and you'll see him in his hat and his overalls, and he's out there. Jerry says Dillard House is good. I've never been there. The Dillard House. It's got to be named after somebody, right? Somebody named Dillard, I would guess. It's probably one, that's the best. That's what I love about going through small town America. Or if you're traveling around the world, is listen, a change of their place. I like to walk into a place that has that mystique about it, that something unique. It's not the cookie cutter, everything's the same, and really all those change. It's just the food's slightly different offerings, but it's all the same. You just feel like you're walking in a carbon copy of a carbon copy of a carbon copy. But when you walk into a place where it's some lady, German lady, and she's about 70, and she's back there cooking up this great food. We got a place up this way. It's kind of like that. And they got offerings, and they offer you bigger portions than the chains do. And it's got their own personal spices and way they do it and everything. And you're like, wow, it'll make your tongue jump out of your mouth and slap your face. That is amazing. So, okay, it's named after the Dillard family that owns it. Well, it is named after someone with the name Dillard. The Dillards. See, I was thinking the Dillards. I think that was the name of the band. It was in the bluegrass band. It was in Andy Griffith. So that's what it makes me think of them. Now, I'm sure Jerry didn't enjoy that one, Watchman. He says they have the best liquor I ever drank, pure 200 proof, and Clayton Smooth. No, I didn't. I wouldn't try that. And I'm saying you would now, but I think Jerry was probably going after the biscuits and gravy and bacon and ham or whatever. I don't think he was put down the Clayton Smooth. Unless it was way back in the day before God got a hold of it. Dillard's not my. How long have they been there? Like, have they been there a long time? Dillard's, I love it. See, you just know, you hear a name, and you don't even have to question, whether it's going to be good or not, because by the name it's going to be good. Some places, sometimes when people say, hey, we already go here and have lunch sometime, it's great. And let me just give you an example of this. If you go to if somebody invites you to a place that's called a tea room, stay away. They bring you little bitty cups and these little bitty food on little bitty plates, and some people just love that kind of thing. Like we went to this tea room and they have these little cute cups, and they have this little piece of steak. It's about that big, and they got a little garnish on it. That's not me. Don't invite me to the tea room. I feel like Jeffro Bodine and something like that. Bring me the bowl, the big spoon I can shovel it in. When your girl was pregnant, I would get her fried mushrooms from Dillard House after work. Yeah, it was really world renowned. They sell country and ham and bacon slabs and burlap sacks that ain't cheap, I bet. Brother Daryl, after having I didn't know he had that. After having that flesh-eating bacteria and 4 major surgeries, I have permanent nerve damage. I'm so sorry. In my legs, but 21 days in ICU in Pensacola Baptist Hospital. I am thankful I didn't lose my leg. Amen. I had just recovered from having my left lung removed. God is good. Man, bless your heart. I knew it had a lot of stuff back to back, and I was trying to keep up with your wife's posts and everything and asking for prayer, and we certainly did that. And with our church, uh, God is good. And when you get feeling better, man, we're gonna. Jerry said no. He can't say he's ever had it. He would know. We're gonna have to get together, man. We'll have to have you. We're gonna have. I love to have you come in and just share the word, share your story, and that'd be awesome. And thank you, Jerry, for that. And Jerry's had his. I mean, man, this last year has been rough on him. Praying for you and your health. I had a liver transplant, and then I spent 93 days in Emory in 2025. God is good, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, you just keep fighting the good fight. You walk in faith with the Lord, and we know what's ahead of us. These bodies are going to break down and continue to break down. We're just going to keep trying to patch them up and keep moving forward in this life and be here for our grandkids and maybe great grandkids for a while before Jesus moves us on. But I'm listening for a sound, because I'm telling you, we're getting closer and closer to that day anyway. I'm telling you, man, it is getting really ugly out there. Like you said, the beast is ready to go on the march. That's for sure. But yeah, you're tough, man. You're tough guys. Got a lot of respect for you. Uh, a lot of respect. One, you're just awesome people, and two, God's used you to preach the word, and then he's you trust him and walk by faith, and he's showing through you. He's showing his faithfulness, and we walk through some deep, dark valleys sometimes. I mean, deep, dark valleys. And but there's always that mountain on the other side of the valley. Amen. And there's blessings in the valley. And you have to walk through that valley to see the blessing. And that's the hard part of it. It's like nobody wants it. Like if you look off the one mountain, you're like, I don't want to go down there. I don't want to go through that. You don't even know it's coming, but you find yourself in it, and then you just keep putting one in front of the other, and keep praying. But I I've seen some people go through some really amazing stuff, and always through it they will say that they believe God used it to help this person or that person, or they seen something they never would have saw if they hadn't went through that. So God bless you both. Them Mountain Codger call it apple brandy. It's the best cold medicine. Take a shot and you'll feel right as rain. Had a boss that would make you take a shot of that Clayton Shine if you were sick. Is anybody feeling under the weather today? Okay, line up. Let's get your shot. Gotta get ready for the work day. Hey, the place I work, way back in the day, they didn't own all the property, and there was a little section that was open, and it was a package store. I didn't work there then, but boy, their stories. Can you imagine having a place that sells the spirits right there on your workplace in the same parking lot? Can you imagine that? Man, temptation right at your door. Wouldn't be a temptation for me. I don't want the stuff, but it was easy for people to access. We'll just say it that way back in the day. Um, well, yeah, Jerry, she's got that talent, man. There was one time I have one, and I would use it in demonstrations in teaching courses and also in sermons. And one time I was doing this Bible class, this class, and I brought it in because we were studying feast, and I just could not get it that night. It sounded like a sick elk, and uh, and the pastor of the church said, he said, I knew it wasn't Jesus coming back for the church because it sounded so bad. He said, but I knew it was you. He said, that's Brother David up there blowing that shofar. Oh, hey, I did, man. I did. We'll have to do it again, but I've been doing that on the history show. Um, But yeah, we'll history show will probably be on tonight. We're continuing. We're in the Battle of Chickamauga right now. We're talking about different people and actions. So tonight, my hope is to get it. I was going to get last night. I ended up watching the Daytona duels. That was fun. I got this end of the first one, watched all the second one, then watched the Dale Earnhardt story. I enjoyed my evening, so I didn't broadcast late after. I went up to about 8, close to 8, and I went and did all that. Me and my wife, we watched all that together. Yeah, I know, man. I know, Watchmen. Bad stuff. Let's see. Barry said, well, when I worked at Cobb EMC, there was a liquor store in front of the building where we worked. Homeless people would get into fights and stuff right there behind the back of the store. We would have to watch some fight and carry on. And yeah, it's sicko stuff, Watchmen. It really is. It's sad. But yeah, yeah, there's so many storylines. Actually, I'm gonna show some video tonight that I cut recently. Me and Biscuit Boy in the park. I think I've got 3 videos that I'm gonna get loaded up and have them in the program tonight. One of them is on Snodgrass Hill. Beautiful location. Oh my gosh. But we took one over in 2 other ones over in another part of the battlefield that day, and we talked to some folks that were traveling and things. Yeah, they are expensive. I paid about $150 for mine. It might have been 130. Maybe it was. Those things are expensive. Mine is 24 inches long. I find on sale for 75. It's normally 135 for this one. I forget how long mine is, but it's at least that. It might be 36. Man, it's a long one. It's big. I think if I remember right, it is. But there's times when I can blow that thing. I can do all the calls. Like I can do all of them, and then sometimes I can't do none. But somebody that plays in a band or something, they could do that very easily. What I loved about Jerry, here's what I loved about it. So I would sit on my table at churches. It's a part of the table, and everybody's interested in it. You know, we're talking about shofars, and so I picked up the shofar, and I would get, you know, I'd whop off the end, and I would say, "Do you want to try to blow it?" This is after or before or after service, and so they would try to blow it, you know, and then whether they did good or not, and this thing is new, like you could still smell the animal on the inside. Then I would say, well, you did a good job, or maybe next time. Then I say, now take a sniff of that end of that, and they would smell it, and they would go, oh my gosh, and I was like, what is that? It's like the smell of death, man. It was, I got them every time. The pastors would laugh. They knew what I was doing. It was funny. Yeah, I used to have those on my table. If for those that don't know, you can like it or not. I don't care. My mission. I was a missionary to Jewish people in Atlanta and wherever I went. And so I've ministered on the streets, witnessing to people. I've been in big meetings and seen a lot of folks come to faith in Jesus Christ. And so that was the one that God called me to, and that's what I did. So, and still, I'm not stopped. I go to the Jew first and also to the Greek. So my call is biblical, and I got to take the gospel to the world. And I've stood on the steps of people that were Islamic. I've stood on the doorsteps of atheists, of every kind of made up religion around the world you could think of. I've stood on their doorstep and tried to give them the gospel. There's a picture of me, and I will show it. I found it the other day. There's a picture of me on a rabbi's front porch in Atlanta, and he was fixing to head out, but he talked to me. I didn't know it was the rabbi's house, but I was there. So I worked in Jewish communities all around Atlanta. Sure did. I went, got screamed at, and I had others that brought cookies out and thanked me, and were very, very kind and wanted the information, and they took Bibles from us, and even on the Sabbath, we were able to do a lot of stuff. But I've got a lot of blessings that way. So, but I had on my table, and I'm gonna show another thing I got too that I had made, but I still got all my stuff. I just haven't. I've been pastoring now for many, many years, but you just, it's part of my life. Hello, Brusky. Good morning to you. I'm fixing to have to go. You called us at the end. Thank God bless you, Stolen and Barry and Watchman and Daryl and Jerry Barrett and anybody else that's watching. We hope you have a wonderful Friday. I'll be back this evening at some point. I am going to do the history show tonight. I am going to do the history show. I've been putting that off. Just not really putting it off. Just been, a lot of things going on. Still working out my schedule of kind of how it goes. Wife's doing, she's hanging on. She's hanging on. But when she needs me, and that's what I do. Yeah. So you're already in Toronto. Up in Toronto, where you're going to be living for a couple of years. So what's the temperature in Toronto today, right now, if you had to guess? What's the temperature? What are we looking at? It's about 35 degrees here, I think, I looked this morning. Jerry was a missionary to local jails. He ran his own business, traveled to different states. He was a missionary to the local jails. Oh, you're just visiting now, making preparations, getting ready. Thank you, Daryl. Love you, man. You and your family the same. You got a wonderful, beautiful family, and I know they stand by you. And keep on keeping on, man. Lord bless. So yeah, all of you. Love you all. 15 degrees in Toronto. Woo! Wind chill factor of -25. You have a blessed day as well, sir. Go kick butt. This, as Americans, we got to go kick butt today. We got to let the. By the way, somebody at local is going to get mad at me. I don't care. There's a lady here. Just tell you this fight about us and everything, real quick. It's all in the news. There's a lady who ran a business here for 10 years. I'm sure she's a sweet, wonderful lady. They're having a fit up here, very much a fit. I was reading comments this morning in one of the local TV stations. All the comments back and forth, and some are they're comical, and some are like shockingly bad. Like good grief. The lady got pulled over, if I remember right, for a busted headlight or tail light. It was one of the two. Everybody's had this happen. I've been pulled over for a tag light being out. Okay, that happens. That's what happens. They see something wrong with the car, they pull you over. They find out she's illegal. She's been in, and so they held her. They turned her over to ICE, and she's going to be going through her court hearing and will be de-exported out of here, I guess, at some point or whatever. And they're having a fit up here. A lot of people are, because look, it's not right. She just got pulled over for a broken light. Why is she being detained by us and all that? And they just totally ignore the fact that she broke the law for all these years. Just totally ignore it. They don't care. So Broski said it's warm compared to what it's been. So I understand. Watchman said he did some jail ministry of the owner of Garrett Paving. Trump is going to take us to a grand war. Yeah. Well, that's probably going to happen. I mean, I feel like I said this months ago, and people got mad at me about it. Like, we ain't gonna go to war. I still think it's coming. I think that I said this months ago. I mean, I'm not bragging on me. I just asked people, I said, do you think we're getting on a war footing? And everybody said, no, I think we're just getting us ready, getting us back to where we need to be. I said, I think it's more than that. I really hope not. I don't want war. I don't want it. But yeah, Nancy Mace, shocking what names will be revealed. Well, then shut up about it. Either release them or shut up about it. I honestly don't like that statement. If you're not going to share the names, why make that statement? Come on, Representative Mace. If you're not going to show us all the names, shut your mouth. Really, honestly, that's stupid. Why do you say that to the American people and to the world? You've seen them. Okay, you got your little hands on the list. Now you know. Now you know who these people are. Come on, that's stupid. Go read that article, Nancy Mace. That makes me mad. Good grief. And you're right, Daryl. They're not going to do jack one about it. But yeah, back to war. Get ready. It's coming. Iran's probably going to be the target first. We'll probably hit Cuba. Maybe a couple of strikes on some drug compounds down in Mexico. Maybe we land in force in Greenland, and Trump comes off the military transport like MacArthur with a cigar in his mouth. I claim this for America. Oh, you're right. Watchmen, that they were supposed to be released and unredacted. But they're not doing it. Bondi should be fired or in prison. I'm sick of her too. By the way, Kennedy's ripping at any y'all. I mean, we talked about the one video, but boy, he was ripping them people. What about Ellison up there not even admitting his job? It's like you're not even going to say what your job is. These people are sick, sick. Um, my hope is that if they cleaned up Cuba and Haiti, you could send the immigrants back there and they will be happy in their own country. Well, they ain't just from there, though. I mean, they're from everywhere else, too. Not that that couldn't be a location for a colony. I mean, that's my last thing this morning. How many of those liberal elites? How many of them beat us Americans up over? We should have concern and compassion for Haiti. How many of them? Oh, they got out there. They did their big fundraisers, and they said, it's a shame what's going on there, and we got to help these poor people. And everything. Where are all them people right now? And the literal living hell that's going on in Haiti right now, with people being eaten eaten. Where are all those people at that browbeat Americans about that we were not compassionate, we didn't care about Haiti, and da da da? These people are sick. They could care less. I don't believe not jack one of them. You know what? They show up for the moment. They raise a bunch of money, and there's never a good accounting of where all that money goes. And people that give to those people causes and do their little text and donate their $10, $20, $100 or whatever, that's foolish. Those people are using you. Don't ever give to those people. There's a lot of organizations that are trying to do things on the ground that you can give through. But these liberal elites, they're just ripping Americans off. It makes me so mad. Anyway, on that great note, God bless you. Salute. Let's get out of here and let's go get Friday, get some things accomplished at work, and we'll be back tonight. We'll have a great weekend, hopefully. And it's a great day to be an American, right? And I was born here. I'm legal, baby. A legal American. I appreciate everybody. God bless you all here. That's a good question. I'd like to know that list as well, the NGOs in Georgia. I'd like to know that. Barry, that's a good one. Let's go dig on that. Take care.